G'day mates, Salty Paris here, and today I'm going to be talking to you about a very, personal topic when it comes to fighting games, because I am stuck in a character crisis. And my hopes is that if I talk through my character crisis here in this YouTube video, it'll both help me solve it and also help give people insight into team building and fighting games. You know, I've played team-based fighting games for a while now, I've got some thoughts on team building, so hopefully I might be able to help people who, always seem to have those questions of, oh, do you think this is a good team? What characters do you think I should play? It's very difficult to answer those questions, so if I just give some insight into team building, hopefully that'll be able to help a bit more than just answering those questions straight up. So, first of all, my main thoughts on team building is you want to pick a character you really enjoy and build from there, right? You want to focus on that character. There's lots of ways you can build teams. You can just pick 3 really solid characters that don't need that much synergy to work together. That's kind of been the best way to build in Dragon Ball FighterZ so far, unfortunately. You can pick your 3 favorite characters. You can go hard in on synergy. I like to build around synergy. I think finding synergy is cool. So, DBF Season 3, I want to build around Kefla. I've been really enjoying her since she came out. I think she's really fun. She's got really cool mobility. She's got cool combos, cool ways to spin meter. Really enjoying her. So I want to build around Kefla, right? So if I want to build around Kefla, there's 2 ways I can do it. I don't think she works on anchor, at all. So you don't want to put her on anchor. So obviously then the ways to build around her would be to put her on point and pick good assists for her, or to pick a character that makes good use of her assists. I think her A assist is a bit, it's good, it's not bad, but there's a lot of assists that do their job better. If you were to build around assists, I don't think A would be one of the ones you'd particularly pick. I think A is an incidentally good thing to have with Kefla, right? But her B assist is quite strong. They added a lot of assists similar to her B in this season. There's Adult Gohan B, the Machine Gun Punch, very similar. Bardock B, also very similar, tends to just be better. So to be honest, if you wanted to build around her B, you'd probably be better off just picking Bardock. But in the event you didn't want to play Bardock, you felt Kefla worked better for your team. Because you're not just picking the assists, you are picking the character as well. That would be something to build around. So I did a quick little MS Paint thing here. There's meant to be a blue tick on Kefla. I'm sorry, I forgot to do one. Yeah, the red ticks represent, who I'm thinking for point. The blue ticks represent who I'm thinking for middle, and the yellow ticks represent who I'm thinking for anchor. Right? So, start with Kefla on point, right? I think Kefla benefits most from really fast assists. Not to say she doesn't work well with the usual Kamehameha assists, but I think in general, she wants fast assists because I think that benefits her quarter circle back S most, which I think is the strongest move, the Zoop teleport. So if we just hop in. So her quarter circle back S, the Zoop teleport, I think this is her strongest tool. It's very unique to her, Lets her just move around the screen as much as she wants. She's invincible during a lot of it. But you can't just do it unprotected, If you're doing it just by itself, you've got to be calling out something big from the opponent because they can very easily just hit you out of the end of it, right? And in that regard, I think using fast assist works better. Isn't it? You can kind of zoop through the opponent doing something with a bit of a low commitment and then catch them with Bardock at the end. You can also, do it with beams. That'll cover you, but I think it's a bit less good. There's ways that the assist can get interrupted there because it's a bit slower. If you're trying to zoop through the opponent calling their beam, your beam will just clash if you try to do that sort of thing, and you'll be left uncovered. Whereas if you zoop through them and call Bardock, you can still be hit out of it, obviously. If the opponent's doing absolutely nothing, they can just hit you and the assist and you get happy birthday. So, there's still risk associated with it, obviously, but I think you get more use of having fast assists with Kefla to abuse that tool. So, there's plenty of fast assists in the game, thankfully. Lots you can choose from. There's actually a decent amount of fast neutral assists as well. So not just looking at the fast pressure assists, like Bardock, Yamcha, Jiren B, those sorts of things. There's also, Frieza is 24 frame startup, very strong neutral assist. That one I think is incredible with Kefla's dash. Obviously lots of people think that one's incredible. Goichi's trying it. And I think Super Broly B, also a very good one with Kefla. Super Broly B is basically GT Goku assist, but it trades in block stun for speed, right? It has faster startup, less block stun. So, which one's best for your team is going to depend on whether you want the higher block stun or the increased speed. And I think for Kefla, the speed is more useful. This is just my personal thoughts, by the way. Not commenting on character strength or anything here. It's far too early in the season to talk about meta. So I'm just, going with my gut here. My gut, my play style, those sorts of things. People are going to play characters in different ways, so that's going to depend on how you personally play. Just trying to cover my thoughts here. So, in that regard, I think you probably want one of these fast neutral assists. So I think Broly and Frieza are probably the best. Frieza B is also very fast, but that has 11 frames of block stun, not the best. It's his quarter circle forward S, the death ball. Very, very fast, very, very low block stun. So I'm a bit iffy on that one. There's a lot of cool stuff you can do with it with the characters who have a command grab for their 5LLL. Like 16 and Zed Broly, but I'm not really interested in one of those right now. So some characters I ruled out based on that were characters with slower but strong assists. So like Cooler, I'm really enjoying in Season 3, but his B assist, as good as it is for some characters, I don't think it works that well for Kefla. At least with how I play, right? There's some cool stuff you can do with it, like you can, if you're predicting the opponent will call a beam or whatever, you can call Cooler, dash through, and then Cooler will cover you because he's invincible to projectiles. But because of the speed there, you know, you have to play a bit far in advance for me. It's a bit predictive, you know. Also ruling out some of the beams. To be honest, I don't really like any of the beam characters. I think Trunks is cool, but I don't really want to play Krillin or Yamcha. Yamcha A would be an incredible assist for Kefla, I think, by the way. Any of you people who enjoy Yamcha, definitely consider Kefla with Yamcha. But I can't personally play him. His normals are so small. His pressure is so different. It's very, very difficult for me to, like, click with, you know? I've tried him a lot before. I think Yamcha A just works really well for my playstyle, but when I have to actually play Yamcha, it has never gone well for me. Gave Gogeta a long shot with Yamcha assist, and the assist works really well, but yeah, just not for me, I think. So, yeah, by putting Kefla on point, those are the assists I'm looking for. So, you know, maybe a team like this. Obviously, this is the Goichi team, right? Or A assists as well. Kefla A is really, really strong for Bardock, by the way, because you just call it with Lariat, and it's like fast enough that it'll leave them in block stun, but like slow enough that it'll kind of like protect you a little bit. It's really good. I'm a big fan. I've also been trying a bit of. This was the team I entered in the online tournament yesterday. I think this team's really good. By the way, Bardock B is also quite strong for Kefla. Just getting it in there. Because she has a 9-frame crouch medium, that means you can use that in a lot of 50-50 situations. So, you know, stuff like Super Dash plus Assist means you can go for a 2M in the corner instead of a 2L, which, like, significantly ups the threat of her mix-ups, right? For most matchups, I think I've been using A so far. But I mean, you know, the fact you're picking Bardock doesn't mean you have to lock into assist, you know? If you want to play this team, you know, for some matchups you can pick A, for some matchups you can pick B. It's a really good option to have characters with multiple assists, like good old Doctor Doom in Marvel vs. Capcom 3. There were plenty of players who would have Plasma Beam for some matchups with Doctor Doom, and plenty of players who'd have Hidden Missiles for some matchups. And you can swap between them. It's great. It's great to have multiple options available to you. Same thing with Kefla, you know? Maybe you want A, maybe you want B for some matchups. I don't think Broly gets so much out of Kefla B, but... Or Kefla, Broly also doesn't get that much out of Bardock B, but, you know, there's options. But if you wanted to put Kefla second, again, there's meant to be a blue tick next to her. I've been looking at Base Vegeta, also Bardock. I think you can swap that team around pretty well. So, like, this is the team I've been playing quite a bit. Dirty Fireworks is a little, like, hidden love of mine. I don't know if I'd recommend that for everyone. Base Vegeta A is very strong as well, but Dirty Fireworks is 2 seconds of hit stun. It's 120 frames of hit stun. That's such a big number, you know? How can you not enjoy that? You get to key charge for so long. So, yeah. But Kefla B gives Base Vegeta really strong mix-ups of pretty much everything he does. It's kind of a good thing that he does. So that team's been really fun, but I don't know if it's like the best I could bring for Kefla, you know? It feels like a strong Base Vegeta team. And also, it feels kind of just... It does feel a little bit worse than just playing this, you know? It's a bit painful for me at times, where I'm playing a character that I've built around, and it's like, man, if I just replace the character I'm building around, the team would be better. So I try to avoid situations like that because of sort of like a mental hang-up for me. I know a lot of people won't mind situations like that, but yeah. Ginyu is ticked here. I think Ginyu is mainly ticked because I'm enjoying Ginyu. I don't think he works that well with Kefla. But he's, you know, Ginyu's so cool, you know? And Ginyu B assist has been interesting to me, right? We are the Ginyu Force. He cycles through the Ginyu Force members, and my thoughts on it basically are that Guldo and Jace are solid, not great, not bad. Raccoon is bad because he's really slow and doesn't give that much block stun. But Berta is insane. I think Ginyu B Berta is one of the best assists in the game. But you only get it a quarter of the time, you know? And cooldowns on assists are pretty long in this game. But, like, Berta is, I think it's 25 frames startup and has, like, 44 frames block stun. That's off the top of my head. Numbers probably aren't exact. And he tracks anywhere on screen. You know, wherever the opponent is vertically, he'll just teleport in front of them and kick them a whole bunch. It's so good! But you only get it a quarter of the time. And I don't know how to, like... I don't know how to cope with that. Berta is my favorite member of the Ginyu Force, by the way. I always just liked in, like, the older... like Budokai Tenkaichi games where you'd press a button with Berta and he'd just like attack like 7 times. Kind of like what Kefla does in Dragon Ball FighterZ actually. Make Berta playable and just give him Kefla's 5M where he just zoops forward and swings like 7 times. But do that on all those buttons. I'd really enjoy that. Jiren. So Jiren B is basically just better than Bardock A in every regard, right? It's the same speed, has more block stun, has more hit stun, and it's projectile invincible. Not key blasts, projectile invincible. Goes through Kamehamehas and everything, right? So that's really strong, because if you do like... If you had like this team, say, that means you could do Kefla quarter circle back S, dash through them, and call Jiren, and he'll blow everything up, right? So, you know, you can do like this, you can do like this, Jiren will just blow through any projectiles. You get to hear Kefla's really cool line for Jiren. The Jiren! Oh, she didn't say it though. She's refusing to do it now. Excuse me, Kefla. Alright, never mind. So I think Jiren assist is really strong here, right? But the drawback then is that you have to play Jiren. Also, actually, a niche little thing is that if you're going for a cross-up mix here, right? So as mentioned, that's kind of slow, right? But it is an option to have. If the opponent's mashing Reflect when you dash through, they will get 5S, right? For a lot of characters, that's pretty fast, so they'll just shoot you out of your mix-up, right? Because they'll hit the assist, or they'll hit you if they do it fast enough. But if you're with Jiren, Jiren's projectile invincible. So Jiren just blows through their key blast and hits them. So that's actually kind of nice, you know? But the drawback is, you have to play Jiren. You're not just picking the assist, unfortunately. You are picking the character as a whole. And is Jiren B strong enough compared to Bardock A that I want to play Jiren? And I really, really believed in Jiren in Season 2. I thought Jiren assist was so strong in Season 2 that like it made up for him being a bit weak on point. I believed so hard. I played him in multiple majors, right? I played, what was it, Bardock Gotenks Jiren in multiple majors. Why did I do that to myself? I was wrong. Jiren was not good enough in Season 2. And so even though he's got significant buffs in Season 3, I think that these buffs are really helpful for him. Now he gets sliding knockdown anywhere. His corner damage went up. He has more ways to do things in block strings with the increased 5S speed. But like, I believed in him when he was terrible, right? So, is it just false hope that I have now? I want to believe. I want to believe. Because both these assists are incredible. His C assist is bad. Don't pick that. Like, look at that! 43 frames block stun from that far away? It's incredible. But... oh! It's so hard. I am not a fair observer in this situation. I'm not capable of judging Jiren accurately. I can't. It can't be done. I think I need to stay away from Jiren because of that. It's so sad. Janemba I also wanted to give a try, but very quickly became apparent that I needed to build entirely around Janemba if I wanted to do that, to make advantage of all the cool little neat tricks he has, and I don't think Kefla did that, so I very quickly ruled him out, unfortunately. I think his B assist is fun, but yeah, he doesn't really feel like he does that much if you're not picking assists entirely for him, you know? The other character I've ruled out that everyone's probably noticed and wanting me to talk about is Gotenks, right? So, I played a lot of Gotenks. Gotenks and Bardock are the main characters I've, like, pretty much been my mains for this game's life, you know? I've swapped around a lot, but Gotenks and Bardock tend to make it back onto the team. Why is Gotenks not ticked here? I don't really enjoy him in Season 3. When the changelogs came out and I read his changes, I thought, oh, that sounds really fun, you know? Gotenks sounds like he'll be really good in Season 3, but... the nerf to the hitbox on Beyblade means that it now loses pretty much everything, right? There really aren't that many things it beats. It loses to Super Dash consistently. It's very easy to just jab him out of it. It's really painful when it used to be such a strong neutral tool to throw out and then cover with an assist, you know? it's difficult to break the habit of doing that, and it makes... I just don't feel like I'm having as much fun playing him in neutral. And then in pressure, the adjustment to 236H, his EX punches, obviously not a nerf, because they both buffed it and nerfed it. But for me, it feels less good. Obviously, plenty of players still getting mileage out of it. But the fact it's less plus, even though it costs less meter now, I feel like it's less good. And I don't feel like my Gotenks pressure is as strong as it used to be, you know? Ghost Hockey still the same, Jump, Success still the same, all very strong. But those changes and the new buffs he got don't really work out for me, I think. So I think I'm taking a break from Gotenks, unfortunately. Very, very unfortunate to say, but pretty much I preferred spending a bar to be more plus than half a bar to be negligibly plus. It's still plus, you know? He's still plus. You still get mileage out of it, but not enough, I think. So that's why Gotenks is ruled out here, unfortunately. Gogeta, I think, got overall nerfed because he got very minor buffs and he lost system mechanics that he abused quite well. He had one of the best universal fuzzies in the game. That's gone now. He had one of the best fuzzies in the game. That's gone now. And also, Gogeta was really good at doing really long block strings with small gaps in them, right? Which meant he was very good at getting assists to recover and making you block for a very, very long time. But with the nerf to the assist recovery, now he needs to have bigger gaps, which means he needs to take more of a risk, which is annoying because all of his stuff is very negative on block, right? He can't afford to be leaving big gaps. Which is a shame, because, like, his mix-up isn't very good without the Universal Fuzzy. With the Universal Fuzzy, he had quite strong mix, but now he doesn't. And so he kind of needed the long block strings with assists, you know? He kind of played a similar game to Vegeta, where, you know, you just make the opponent block for a very, very long time, and you hope they mess up at some point, and then you get to hit them. But Vegeta just, like, does that better. Now, Vegeta has many more ways to, like, safely leave a gap because of his better frame data. And also, I still hate Gogeta's jab. Gogeta's jab is, like, the bane of my existence. It's so high risk, but it's a jab, and it's nowhere near as good as Vegeta's, you know? It's got a, like, small hitbox, but you still die if you whiff it. It's crazy to me. Crazy to me. But yeah, so, you know, teams I've been looking at, just to finish up here, you know, I've been trying the Goichi team. I think it's very strong with the A assists. I think you can also pick Bardock B in some situations. Very good team in general. Playing this in the online tournament. I think this is the team I'm going to stick with for the moment. First of all, because it's cool that they're all 3 Saiyans, you know? Get to do a little Saiyan Pride team. Also because Broly color 8 is very good. Very good trans pride color there. Broly is a good boy who says trans rights. Maybe I'll get a Broly trans pride emote for the Twitch. Of course, I'm not entirely thinking for the colors, but there's a nice thing to get, you know? But also, this felt really strong while I was playing it in the online tournament, even though my Broly is really bad. You know, I haven't been putting much time into Broly. It's understandable that my Broly would suck, you know? But in spite of that, it still felt really good. Which makes me think that, you know, if I put more time into Broly, the team will be completely nuts, you know? In terms of Kefla second, this is the main one I've been playing. Yeah. I think this one's really good. I think base Vegeta is, like, insane at the moment. He just does absurd damage all the time. Why do they buff his super damage so much? And it's very easy for Kefla to get to the right height for base Vegeta to do that extra damage. At this point, you're basically just building around base Vegeta, though. And you'd be better off, I think, with Bardock over Kefla. Alas. So that's really my main problem there. There's some other wackier stuff I've been considering. Again. This nonsense. I mentioned this one on Twitter. I probably won't be playing this one, even though it has an incredibly high power level. Incredibly high. Almost one of the strongest teams in the game you can pick, if you're looking entirely at the cannon. But the mix-up isn't great. Even though it does do absurd damage. You know, any of these characters land a hit, you're doing a ton of damage. So maybe the fact you do that much damage means it doesn't matter that, you know, your mix-up is weak. If you need to hit the opponent less, probably not. But, would be cool. But yeah, so, hope this video has, I hope this video helped me, mainly. I think I'm going to be sticking with this one. I think this is the one I'm going to be looking at for now. If you see me playing a different team on stream, you know, come yell at me. Yeah, I'll try and stick with this one for a while, see how my Broly works out. character crises are so hard, you know? So much of the skill in fighting games comes from, like, really honing in how well you know your character. You want the spacing exact. You want to know the perfect conversion of every hit. And that's a huge part of, like, Fenrich's game, you know? That he knows his characters like the back of his hand. And so when you get into character crisis and you can't stop swapping characters, you're really hindering your progress in a fighting game. And so I want to get out of this as soon as I can. So maybe I'll just force myself to stick with this team, you know? But also I hope my rambling through my thought process in building these teams has helped a little bit. I know lots of people have trouble building teams in team-based fighting games, so I hope the insight helps, you know, help me talking through my thought process helps. Like I said, there's a lot of school of thoughts for building teams in fighting games. So just because you disagree with my team building process here doesn't mean either one of us is wrong, because there's plenty of ways to do it. If you just want to pick your 3 favorite characters, go ahead and do that. Yeah. Hope everyone enjoyed this. I'll try and, you know, get more scripted videos up. I do still have plans for that Kefla guide. I just figured I'd get this done so I can actually pick a team in Dragon Ball FighterZ. And yeah, if anyone has any critique of this one-take, non-scripted video, let me know. Actually, the big part, I'll just talk here quickly as well about another thought process thing here in fighting games, because, you know, not many people talk about their thoughts in fighting games, you know? They'll talk about the game itself, which is helpful, but I think thought process stuff is important too. So, tilt is a big problem in fighting games for lots of players, right? Tilt is a big problem for me in general. So, when I script videos and I record them, if I make even the smallest mistake, if I stutter once, I'm normally like, oh, that's it. Throw the entire video out. I'm done. Gotta do it again. Record from scratch. And that happens to me in a lot of things, you know? My old music teacher back in high school used to tell me whenever I made any mistake at all, if I noticed I made a mistake, I was normally done. And that was something that I really needed to work on. If I made a single mistake, like, I would stop sometimes. Which is terrible in music, right? And he was like, you know, a lot of people are not going to notice a single mistake, let alone even criticize you for it, you know? When you make that mistake, you've just got to keep going. You can't let that mistake stop you. And there are lots of games where I will drop a combo or get hit by something that I really should have reacted to, and I crumble. And that's something I gotta work on a lot. Tilt is a difficult thing, you know? It's not the easiest thing to work on, but I think by forcing myself to go through these sorts of things, where I'm like not scripting, I'm forcing myself to just keep recording, that'll actually help, you know? If I keep going through, even though I notice I made a mistake, maybe it'll help in other aspects of my life, you know? So, just another little thought thing there, you know, just because you're not currently playing fighting games doesn't mean you can't be improving yourself in fighting games. But yeah, hope everyone enjoyed this video. Hope it helped at least a little bit. It definitely helped me, and that was really the critical bit. So yeah, I'll hopefully see you all on the stream, and if not, I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye!